Hi, my name is Journey.
Hi, Journey. I'm Destiny.
And I'm going to be your social worker today. I just want to go through a couple of rules. We have to talk about confidentiality. I'm not allowed to give away any information that you're telling me unless it harms you or harms others. And also that everything you say will be kept in this space, so you are free to say whatever you want. And we just need to go over, Anyways, what brings you here today?
Well, it's my first year at UCF, on campus, and I have roommates, and I guess I'm here because my roommates have just, it's been stressful, and I'm not sure how to confront them or talk to them about these things, because it's been little things, but now it's gradually just getting worse and worse. And I don't really know where to go from there.
Okay. So, can I ask what those little things are? Are they like little actions that they do or little words they say?
Well, it started with my roommate in particular, because we share one space, and then we have roommates next door, and we share the bathroom. So my roommate, it started with her asking to have the room for hours out of the day, and it started with it being during my class time, so it didn't really affect me, and then it just got a little bit more aggressive in that she would ask, hey, can I have the room at this time when, I don't have class? So then there's just that awkward, okay, and then I would say, yes, sure, but I'm kicked out of the room for a few hours, and and now it's every week, she needs to have the room, and then the other girls next door, it started with them, just being, like I said, we share the bathroom, so the bathroom gets really messy, and that's mostly them, and it started with little things, but now it's, really messy, we have to get the RA involved, and it's just been so stressful. I guess I don't really have a voice right now through all this.
So what I'm hearing you say is that your roommate's basically asking for your entire room for a majority of the day. And it started off as little things like, oh, when you're off the class, but now she's kind of taking the time when you would be here and asking for you to go.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And you talked about the RA coming in. Has she put any rules or any conflict solutions in?
Well, my RA decided to, we decided to talk to the RA about the messy bathroom, and the suggestion was, okay, I'll have a meeting together, which I thought was good, because personally I don't want to go over there and say, hey, the bathroom is a mess, can you please stop? And so we've been trying to contact them through texting and knocking on the door, but they don't answer text, they don't answer the door. So now my RA is saying, well, maybe you can leave a note, but I don't really know what to put on that note to give to them without coming off as rude.
So I can see that you're feeling kind of helpless.
Yes.
That you feel like you can't open up and openly voice what you're feeling, or maybe what you and your roommate are feeling. And I think that's perfectly fine. I think that as a part of, especially in college, we're trying to find the niche, and you're in a place where you don't want to speak too much on it because it would affect both you and your roommate and the relationship you guys have. So it's perfectly fine to feel that way. But I do encourage you to, like she said, find something to put on the note, because if you don't put your voice out, then they will feel the right to continuously keep going. And you don't want to be put in a situation where it keeps affecting you and nobody else is hearing you. So
right.
A big thing is getting your voice heard, because your voice is important. So even if it means the RA having to take more action, which I also would encourage her to do, because maybe that note's not going to be enough, but I would still do the note first, and then if that doesn't work, then pull in the RA for more, because it does need to be talked about, because it is affecting you.
Yeah, it is, and my issue is just I often I guess I'm too nice. I let people just kind of do what they need to do, and I don't really, like, consider myself first. Like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine, and then it's really not. And that just makes it so much more stressful. I don't need that stress right now. So I'm hoping I can talk to them in the know and just tell them how I feel. I'm hoping that will work. Otherwise, I'll have to get the RA back involved. My boyfriend, he suggested that I just lock the door and then they have to come over and say, hey, the bathroom's locked, so I could talk to them, but I don't know if I'll do that.
I think that's a funny idea.
I don't know where, I was like, well, that's actually kind of smart, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if the note doesn't work and my RA can't reach them, then that could, I guess, be a possibility too. But then again, yeah, I don't like making people angry with me or anything like that.
And do you think that's still playing a big part in this whole situation with the roommates and them as well?
Yeah, I think so. I'm assuming the girls next door have seen the messages at least, so I'm sure they know that we want to talk to them. Maybe that offended them too. I'm not sure. And I know from my roommate here at least, she, we have our own issues on top of that. So with the other girls leaving a mess, it just causes more stress between us, and it's it's already been bad enough as it is. So
I feel like because I also have been a kind of person that's very, I don't want to upset people and things like that, but I had to come to terms with knowing my feelings are also important, and they're not going to know your feelings unless you tell them. Mm-hmm. So it's very important that you start voicing those things because, like you said, you're kind of the person who will sit back and just try and do you and let them do their day. You've always been putting others ahead of yourself, and that's a good thing to do at times, but I also feel like putting yourself first in some situations that are really bothering you and not necessarily affecting every day, but are affecting a majority of what you're doing, and sometimes in your day are very important to get out and tell them, because you don't want to keep tiptoeing around it, because it's not going to tiptoe around you. So I think that's a big thing that you should also try.
I agree. I think you're right about that. So I'll definitely be working on that note soon. And I guess my only other issue right now is how to tell my roommate that I'd like to have the room too, because it's also my room. I get that. I understand I have to ask for the room sometimes, if I have company or something, but when it's every day, and that can be so aggravating. I actually left my student ID card in here once, and she kicked me out of the room, and then my phone ended up dying, and I didn't have anything except my wallet and my keys and my dead phone, and so I had no way of telling her, hey, can I get my ID card? I don't know how, when you can tell me it's okay to come back, and so that situation ended up being embarrassing and stressful. I got into the building, but I had to knock on the door, and she was upset with me, and it was a very awkward situation because she had a guy over, and I didn't really, I was I'm so sorry, but that was just another time where it's okay, this has to stop, but I don't know how to get that to stop.
Bless me. It kind of walks a very thin line. I know here at UCF that bless me. Okay. I know here at UCF you guys have roommate agreements.
Yeah.
Did you guys fill one of those out earlier?
We did, yeah.
And was the room sharing thing?
Room sharing was on there. And we did agree that, we would talk to each other if we needed the room, and that it would be like, hey, if you need it, you can have it. You have to talk to me though. Although we didn't agree on any like extent of like how often that would be, but I guess now that you brought that up, I could talk to my RA about it, and then he could have a meeting between us, and we could probably add to that, which would that could probably help. At least she would acknowledge that, hey, you wrote that down.
I also just think it's important for both of you to come on the same note, the same page of it, because to an extent, you are allowed to ask to have the room, but this is also your room. You also have paid to be in this room, and have a lot of your stuff in this room. So she should also value your feelings and opinions on that as well, because half of this room is yours, half of it's hers. So in a sense, we can see that you can ask to have the room, but then that other time is not. It shouldn't be every single day having the room. So maybe pulling in your RA to really talk about some finer detailing in it. Maybe not every day, or maybe not for so long of time, or what are the exceptions, especially with losing your key card and things like that. That's really an important thing around here. So I think that's really a thing that you guys should really discuss. And I feel like maybe discussing that with your RA and having a middleman or a voice of higher reasoning, because they may have been through this themselves, will also start to open light on some other situations, and maybe it will open a larger conversation that he can also help you guys with. So that can solve that problem as well.
Yeah, I don't know why I never really thought about looking at our roommate agreement. I guess because it's been so long that you forget you even do it. But I think that's actually a really good idea, and that could be helpful. I mean, even just having the RA there talking to us while we do the agreement, that could be helpful, because our RA is totally great and has been helpful before. So I think that I'll just be getting in contact with my RA about everything. So yeah.
Anything else you want to discuss in this time?
No, I don't really think that there's anything else that I needed to talk about. I appreciate your help, though. That has been super helpful.
So I hope to see you next time, and I hope that you put some of these actions in effect, because, like we said, your voice is important, and you really need to make sure that you are heard in those situations too.
You're right. Yeah, my voice is important. I forget that a lot. But thank you.
No problem.